The year is 1453. The Ottoman Empire, a force of nature, marches towards Constantinople. Sultan Mehmed II, a young but ruthless leader, desires the city, a prize that will cement his legacy. His army, a kaleidoscope of soldiers ready for war, a tide of humanity poised to crash against ancient walls. The air hums with anticipation, a silent promise of bloodshed. Mehmed, barely 21, carries the weight of an empire on his shoulders. He's studied the city's defenses, meticulously planned every detail. He believes his cannons, the largest the world has ever seen, will shatter Constantinople's formidable walls. He's convinced victory is inevitable, a divine right to rule. His ambition fuels the advance, a burning desire for conquest. Days turn into weeks. The Ottoman camp is a hive of activity. Soldiers, from diverse backgrounds, prepare for the impending assault. They sing songs of glory, share tales of past victories, and pray for strength. The atmosphere is a mixture of excitement and apprehension, a palpable sense of impending doom and hopeful anticipation. Their faith is their armor. The cannons, marvels of engineering, are the key to Mehmed's strategy. These colossal weapons, fueled by gunpowder and sheer manpower, promise to breach the seemingly impenetrable walls. Artisans and engineers work tirelessly, ensuring each cannon is perfectly aligned, ready to unleash its devastating power. The rumble of the engines echoes across the plains. Constantinople, the last bastion of the Roman Empire, stands defiant. Its ancient walls, built to withstand centuries of siege, are a testament to human ingenuity. Within those walls, the defenders, a mix of Byzantine soldiers and foreign mercenaries, prepare for the inevitable onslaught. They know the odds are stacked against them. The first cannon shot rips through the air, a deafening roar that shatters the morning calm. Stone explodes, sending debris raining down on the city. The earth trembles. The defenders are caught off guard, their defenses tested immediately. The siege has begun. The Ottoman onslaught commences. Soldiers, driven by adrenaline and faith, surge towards the walls. They scramble up ladders, attempting to overcome the defenses. Archers unleash a hail of arrows, raining down on the attackers. The battle is fierce, brutal, and unrelenting. Amidst the chaos, individual acts of bravery shine. Byzantine soldiers, outnumbered but determined, fight with desperate courage. They defend their city, their homes, their way of life, with every ounce of strength they possess. Their resolve is tested, their numbers dwindling. The sheer weight of the Ottoman army begins to take its toll. The defenders, despite their valiant efforts, are slowly being overwhelmed. The relentless assault, coupled with the devastating cannon fire, begins to crack the city's defenses. Hope dwindles with each passing hour. The walls finally give way. The Ottoman army pours into Constantinople, a tide of conquest. The defenders, exhausted and depleted, are unable to stem the flow. The city, once a symbol of power and resilience, falls into Ottoman hands. The massacre begins. The city's heart bleeds. Ottoman soldiers advance, their victory hard-won, but stained with bloodshed. The once vibrant streets are now choked with debris and despair. Citizens scatter, seeking refuge in crumbling buildings or desperate attempts to escape the relentless advance. The air vibrates with the clash of steel, screams, and the triumphant cries of the conquerors. Hope, a flickering candle, threatens to be extinguished entirely. The emperor's palace is now a target. Emperor Constantine, a beacon of resistance, stands defiant amidst the chaos. He addresses his dwindling forces near the Hagia Sophia, his voice a steady roar against the encroaching darkness. His armor gleams, reflecting the fires consuming the city. He speaks of honor, of sacrifice, of defending the legacy of Byzantium. A final stand is being prepared. The weight of a fallen empire rests upon his shoulders. Ilara, a young woman haunted by the unfolding tragedy, seeks refuge in the shadows. She clutches a small icon, a relic of her faith, her only comfort in this nightmarish reality. Her eyes dart nervously as Ottoman soldiers pass, their faces hardened by conquest. She witnesses the brutality firsthand, the casual cruelty inflicted upon her city. The future is uncertain, and survival feels like a distant dream. Demetrios, a devoted scholar, battles the flames in the burning library. He desperately attempts to rescue ancient texts, irreplaceable treasures of Byzantine knowledge. Smoke and ash fill the air, blurring his vision. He knows that with each passing moment, invaluable wisdom is lost forever. His efforts are futile, yet he persists, driven by a profound sense of responsibility. Janissaries, the elite Ottoman soldiers, conduct a brutal search of homes. They plunder possessions, inflicting terror upon the remaining citizens. Homes are ransacked, families are torn apart. The once proud city is reduced to a scene of devastation and despair. The invaders revel in their power, displaying a callous disregard for human life and cultural heritage. The city's spirit is slowly crushed. A small band of Byzantine soldiers, led by a seasoned veteran, executes a desperate diversionary tactic. They launch a daring attack, attempting to draw Ottoman forces away from the city center. It's a risky maneuver, a last-ditch effort to buy time for the remaining citizens to escape. Their courage is unwavering, but their chances of success are slim. They fight with the ferocity of those defending their homeland. Emperor Constantine confronts Ottoman commanders, attempting to negotiate for the safety of the remaining population. He offers terms, pleading for mercy, but his words fall on deaf ears. The commanders are resolute in their victory, unmoved by his pleas. The emperor understands the futility of his efforts, but he refuses to surrender his honor. The final hours are dwindling. Amidst the brutality, a flicker of humanity emerges. Ilara encounters a group of Ottoman soldiers who offer her food and water. Their actions are unexpected, a moment of compassion in a sea of violence. It's a brief respite, a small reminder that not all soldiers are driven by hatred. Ilara is wary, but grateful for the unexpected kindness. Demetrios, amidst the destruction, discovers a hidden chamber beneath the library. He finds a secret passage, a forgotten escape route. It offers a glimmer of hope, a potential path to safety. He hesitates, knowing that it's a gamble, but it's his only chance. He prepares to embark on a perilous journey into the unknown. Constantine, accepting the inevitable, rallies his remaining troops for a final, defiant stand. He understands that the city is lost, but he refuses to surrender his honor. He speaks of sacrifice, of duty, of defending the ideals of Byzantium. His words ignite a spark of courage in his soldiers. They prepare to face their fate with unwavering resolve. The air hangs heavy with the scent of aged parchment and forgotten secrets. Demetrios treads carefully, his hand hovering near his sword. Hieroglyphs line the walls, depicting scenes of long-lost emperors and mythical beasts. A sense of awe washes over him, momentarily eclipsing his fear. He wonders who built this place and why it was concealed. The silence is profound, broken only by the crackling of the torch. He feels a presence, unseen but palpable, a whisper of history surrounding him. Could this passage truly offer salvation, or lead him deeper into danger? Ilara watches, her heart aching. The soldier's face, hardened by war, softens as he offers the child a piece of bread. The child's mother looks at him with a mixture of gratitude and suspicion. A fleeting moment of normalcy in the chaos. Ilara remembers a time before the war, a time of simple kindness. She wonders if such compassion can truly exist in this brutal world. The encounter stirs something within her, a spark of hope amidst the darkness. She understands that even in defeat, humanity can persevere. Constantine's voice, though weary, resonates with conviction. He speaks of the city's legacy, of the knowledge contained within its walls, now threatened by flames and steel. He reminds them of their oath, their duty to protect Byzantium, even in its final moments. His words are not of victory, but of defiance. He asks them to fight not for land or power, but for the ideals they hold dear. He looks at each face, seeking courage, seeking a shared purpose. A single tear traces a path down his weathered cheek. Demetrios carefully unfurls the brittle scroll. A map, painstakingly drawn, reveals a hidden path leading away from the city walls. It's a perilous journey, fraught with danger, but it offers a chance at survival. The route winds through treacherous mountain passes and dense forests. He traces the path with his finger, a glimmer of hope igniting within him. This map could be his salvation, but it also represents a desperate gamble. He knows the Ottomans will be searching for survivors. The sight fills Ilara with a deep sense of outrage. Soldiers tear down icons, smashing sacred relics. They display a callous disregard for faith and history. She clenches her fists, fighting back tears. The destruction is not just of buildings, but of something far more profound, the soul of Byzantium. A wave of anger washes over her, a burning desire for justice. She knows she must do something, but what can one person do against such overwhelming force? A roar erupts as Constantine's soldiers charge. They fight with a ferocity born of desperation, defending their homes and their honor. The clash of steel echoes through the city. Arrows fly, swords clash, and the air is filled with screams. The tide of battle is turning, but the Ottoman forces are overwhelming. Constantine fights at the forefront, a beacon of courage amidst the carnage. He knows the odds are stacked against them, but he refuses to yield. The tunnel is claustrophobic and damp. Water drips from the ceiling, echoing in the darkness. Demetrios moves cautiously, his torch casting long, dancing shadows. The air is thick with the smell of mildew and decay. He hears strange noises, the scuttling of rats, the distant sound of dripping water. He feels a growing sense of unease, a feeling that he is not alone. The tunnel seems to twist and turn endlessly, leading him deeper into the unknown. Ilara pulls the woman deeper into the wreckage, covering her with debris. The woman trembles, whispering prayers. Ilara offers her a reassuring smile, a silent promise of protection. The soldiers pass by, oblivious to their presence. Ilara's act of kindness is a small act of rebellion, a refusal to let the darkness consume her humanity. She understands that even in war, compassion can endure. A shared glance passes between them, a silent acknowledgement of their mutual fear and resilience. A crimson stain spreads across Constantine's tunic. He stumbles, but remains standing. He raises his sword, his voice hoarse but firm. He rallies his remaining soldiers, urging them to fight on. He embodies the spirit of Byzantium, defiant, unyielding, and unbreakable. His wound is a testament to his bravery, a symbol of his unwavering commitment to his people. He knows his time is short, but he will not surrender. He will fight until his last breath. Demetrios emerges onto a secluded beach, gasping for breath. The air is fresh and salty. He spots a small, weathered fishing boat, half hidden amongst the rocks. It's a long shot, but it's his only hope of escape. He examines the boat, assessing its condition. It's old and patched, but it might just be seaworthy. He looks back at the city, now engulfed in flames. A bittersweet mix of relief and sorrow washes over him. The engine sputters, refusing to ignite. Demetrios curses under his breath, frustration mounting. Each failed attempt chips away at his hope. The relentless waves crash against the shore, a constant reminder of his precarious situation. He remembers Ilara's face, a beacon in the darkness. Survival hinges on this desperate gamble, a silent prayer carried on the wind. The sun begins its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, a beautiful yet ominous backdrop to his plight. He tries again, a surge of determination fueling his efforts. Ilara's hands move with practiced efficiency, stemming the flow of blood. The woman winces, but her eyes hold a flicker of gratitude. Ilara murmurs soothing words, offering a silent promise of safety. The flickering candlelight casts long shadows on the walls of the wreckage, creating an atmosphere of both vulnerability and resilience. She shares her meager rations, a small act of kindness in a world consumed by war. Every moment feels precious, a fragile sanctuary against the encroaching darkness. A distant explosion echoes, a chilling reminder of the conflict raging beyond. Byzantium will not fall. Constantine's voice resonates with unwavering conviction. His soldiers, battered but resolute, stand shoulder to shoulder. The city behind them is a canvas of destruction, a testament to the brutal conflict. He speaks of honor, of sacrifice, of the legacy they must protect. A young soldier looks up at him, his eyes filled with a mixture of fear and admiration. Constantine's gaze sweeps across their faces, a silent acknowledgement of their courage. He knows the odds are stacked against them, but their spirit remains unbroken. A roar of the engine breaks the silence. The small fishing boat surges forward, cutting through the waves. Demetrios glances back at the shore, a pang of regret in his heart. He sees the faint outline of the city, a symbol of everything he's lost. The wind whips through his hair, carrying with it the scent of salt and the promise of an uncertain future. He sets a course for the open sea, leaving behind the ruins of his past. The boat pitches and rolls, a small vessel battling against the vastness of the ocean. A distant rumble reaches Ilara's ears. She pauses, listening intently. Her eyes narrow as she scans the horizon. A small boat appears on the waves, a fleeting silhouette against the setting sun. Recognition dawns on her face, a mixture of surprise and apprehension. She rises, her hand instinctively reaching for a hidden dagger. The flickering candlelight dances across her features, highlighting the determination in her eyes. She knows this arrival could change everything. Steel clashes against steel, the air thick with the sounds of battle. Constantine fights with the ferocity of a cornered lion, his sword a blur of motion. His soldiers, outnumbered but defiant, hold their ground. Arrows rain down from above, and the ground trembles with the impact of cannon fire. A young soldier falls beside him, a silent sacrifice. Constantine's resolve strengthens, fueled by grief and rage. He pushes forward, leading the charge, a symbol of unwavering resistance. The sky darkens, and a fierce storm descends upon Demetrios. Waves crash over the deck, threatening to engulf the small boat. Rain lashes down, obscuring his vision. He fights to keep the boat afloat, battling against the relentless wind and waves. Lightning illuminates the raging sea, revealing the sheer power of nature. He clings to the helm, his knuckles white with strain. Doubt creeps into his mind, but he refuses to yield. A shadow moves in the darkness. Ilara spins around, dagger drawn. A soldier stands before her, his face grim. "Where is he?" he demands, his voice cold and menacing. Ilara meets his gaze, her eyes unwavering. "I know nothing," she replies, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. The air crackles with tension, the silence broken only by the crackling fire. A struggle seems inevitable. A blow lands on Constantine's side, sending a searing pain through his body. He stumbles, clutching at his wound. His soldiers rush to his aid, but he waves them off. He collapses to his knees, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Despite the pain, his eyes remain fixed on the enemy, a defiant glint in their depths. He knows this may be the end, but he will not surrender. His final act is to raise his sword one last time. Through the driving rain, a faint light appears on the horizon. Demetrios squints, his heart pounding with anticipation. As the boat draws closer, he realizes it's a ship, a merchant vessel, sailing towards the coast. A wave of relief washes over him, so potent it almost buckles his knees. He frantically waves his arms, trying to signal the ship's captain. Hope, fragile but real, flickers within him. Ilara's defiance doesn't waver. She's protected him for years, a silent guardian. The soldier's eyes narrow, searching hers for a flicker of deceit. He's been tasked with a difficult mission, one that requires Constantine's unique skills. He knows Ilara is involved, whether she admits it or not. A tense silence hangs in the air, broken only by the relentless rain and the distant roar of the sea. The soldier's hand instinctively moves towards his sword hilt. The fate of more than just Constantine might depend on Ilara's next words. Demetrios watches Constantine's agonizing struggle, a wave of fury building within him. He's risked everything to find him, to protect the legacy they both share. The ship nears the harbor, its arrival a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. He sees the guards, the familiar faces, and a surge of adrenaline courses through his veins. He knows he must reach Constantine, to offer aid and to uncover the truth behind his attack. The salty spray of the waves mixes with the rain as Demetrios prepares to disembark, ready to face whatever awaits him. Demetrios crashes onto the shore, ignoring the startled cries of the guards. He sprints towards Constantine, his every step fueled by desperation. The guards attempt to intercept him, but he's too quick, too driven. He reaches Constantine just as his strength begins to fade. Ilara watches from the shadows, her presence a silent observer. She allows Demetrios to reach his friend, understanding that some battles are best fought together. The rain continues to fall, washing away the blood and the fear. Constantine grips Demetrios' hand, a silent thank you passing between them. The pain is still intense, but the presence of his friend offers a glimmer of hope. Ilara steps forward, her usual guarded demeanor replaced with a hint of compassion. She offers a healing balm, a skill she's honed over years of wandering. The soldiers, witnessing the bond between the two men, slowly lower their weapons. The tension in the air begins to dissipate, replaced by a fragile sense of peace. The storm begins to subside. The first rays of dawn break through the clouds, painting the sky with hues of gold and rose. Constantine smiles weakly at Ilara, a profound gratitude in his eyes. He knows he owes her a debt he can never fully repay. They stand together, a united front against the darkness, their shared past forging an unbreakable bond. The ship remains docked, a symbol of the journey they've undertaken. The future is uncertain, but they face it together, ready to rebuild and protect what they hold dear.